Okay, so I've done a lot of videos about UFC Undisputed Forever's career mode, which you should definitely check those out if you haven't already. And it's been a while since I played through EA Sports UFC 5's career mode. I do actually have a playthrough of it on my channel, but in all honesty, I don't remember too much about it. But what I do remember is having to win a ridiculous number of fights before I was actually able to earn my title shot. So I wanted to see how many fights it would take me to win the title in UFC 5's career mode. I decided to play in the heavyweight division, and since Francis Ngannou isn't in this game's roster, I decided to create him so that I could reclaim the title he never lost, and hopefully fight John Jones along the way. We start our career mode off in some backyard lot with an impromptu cage. Obviously my opponent had no business being in there with me, and I finished him off in about 20 seconds. With this victory, it's obvious that we need a step up in competition.
That shit was crazy. Your coach is right. You probably shouldn't be fighting here because these cats are not on your level. That KO is gonna blow up.
Coach Davis later informs us that our knockout has become viral and has actually earned us a fight on Dana White's Contender Series.
You see that?
Coach, that was months ago. You already know I'm done with that.
Yeah, I know. Look who posted it.
Dana White? Nah, that's gotta be a fake account.
Why would I be following the fake Dana White?
What the fuck? That's crazy.
You know what's even crazier? I got a call from the UFC, and they offered you a spot on Dana White's Contender Series. You were probably already on their radar, but this popping back up definitely didn't hurt.
In order to get ready for our fight, Coach Davis gets in contact with Valentina Shevchenko, who has somehow grown to become eye level with the 6'4" Francis Ngannou, so that we can train in the renowned UFC Performance Institute. Much like my first fight, I was able to dispatch my opponent fairly quickly. Dana White was so impressed that I was able to finish off my opponent in the first round that he offers me a UFC contract.
All right. Yo, you did it. You did it, kid. All the hard work paid off. How's it feel?
I feel amazing, Coach. I feel fucking great right now.
Enjoy the moment. Uh-oh, looks like somebody's got some paperwork for you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hold on, just give me a sec.
Giant Valentina congratulates us on the win, and off to the UFC we go. Dana White must still be salty about Francis Ngannou leaving the UFC in real life, because I didn't even get a real character model on the tail of the tape. Regardless, with a professional record of 1-0, I was set to make my UFC debut against Braden Russell, who had the strangest torso I'd ever seen for a UFC heavyweight fighter. Much like my previous wins, I was able to finish my opponent in the first round, and with this win, I let the UFC heavyweight division know that there was a new contender in town. I was able to improve my record to 4-0, finishing all of my opponents in the first round. While getting ready for the next fight, Dana White tells us that our opponent has pulled out of the fight, but Derek Lewis has opted to step in on short notice. This was a big opportunity, as this will be the first fight against a ranked opponent. Unlike their fight in real life, I decided to bring the fight to Derek Lewis, and I was able to finish him in the first round. With a win over a top 15 opponent, the UFC decided to put me in my first main event. With a record of 5-0, with all first round finishes, it was imperative that I kept my momentum going. With this being my first 5-round fight, some might have wondered how my cardio would have held up in the later rounds. Those questions, however, would not be answered, as I was able to finish my opponent in under a minute. In the next fight, I would be paired up against the number 9 ranked heavyweight in Tai Tuivasa, who is a heavy hitter in his own right. A win would put me within the top 10, and I was looking to keep my undefeated record intact. In a battle of hard-hitting heavyweights, I was able to come out on top by knocking out Tai in just under 3 minutes. The win improved my record to 7-0 overall, and put me within the top 10. I was able to dispatch my next victim, I mean opponent, without much trouble, improving my record to 8-0. This win would set me up against another well-known heavyweight in Alexander Volkov. Despite Volkov being much more experienced than me, I was able to finish him in just 34 seconds. This was my most impressive victory so far and improved my record to 9-0. It would also put me just outside the top 5 in my division. With a 9-0 record, with 8 of those wins being in the UFC, my next fight would see me go against number 5 ranked Sergey Spivak. With a potential title shot on the line, it was important that I put on an impressive performance. Fortunately, I was able to knock out Spivak in the first round with a monstrous uppercut, improving my record to 10-0. My string of first round finishes finally seemed to convince the UFC that I was ready for a title shot. And lucky for me, the champion was Jon Jones. I guess Jon had found another opportunity to duck Tom Aspinall. The moment that I had trained for was finally here. I had just one moment, one opportunity, and I would not miss my chance to blow.
Whose time is it?
It's my time!
You hungry?
Yeah!
Then get out there and fucking eat!
Let's go!
Despite Jon being known for having a good chin, I was able to hurt him multiple times.
Right to the target. Let's see if his opponent can survive.
I cannot believe he's gonna bring at him.
Back to his feet.
Massive shot land. It's over, Jon. Fight's done.
To go on the round.
Despite me finishing all my opponents with heavy hands, I did something totally unexpected and finished Jon Jones with a head kick.
Yeah, man, crowd loving it. Just a gorgeous shot there to end the fight. Really just the way he drew it up. He found the opening and capitalized on it.
It took 11 fights in total. 10 of those wins were in the UFC. All fights were finished within the first round. In hindsight, becoming a UFC champion in just 11 fights sounds like an impressive feat. And it is. However, when all you do is just knock people out in the first round, you would think that it would take less fights to get a title shot. Regardless, we accomplished our goal. But the only thing that I was upset about is that none of my wins earned me a Performance of the Night bonus. I guess the UFC is still against Francis Ngannou.
49 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by knockout and new undisputed UFC heavyweight champion of the world, the Destroyer.
Well, there are a few things as exciting in this sport as the crowning of a new UFC champion. Can DC get an invitation to the after party?
I mean, I'm just trying to show up, baby. I'm already. I want